First things first, I am not a chef. I've never been a chef. Don't have any aspirations to be a chef. And that being said, I'm going to teach you how to make a traditional meal. By traditional, I mean something I just made up like 3 seconds ago. You're going to need bacon. Any kind of bacon will do. But you're going to want like at least something that's been hickory smoked, maybe apple smoked. Some questionable quality salmon. And salted peanuts and pop. RC particularly. Now, pan. You want a cast iron skillet that is roughly, I think this is 8, I want to say 11 or 10 inch cast iron. I know it's not 8, it's bigger than an 8 inch. And a stove. These are my ingredients. I know you're not supposed to lay things on a stove, but if your burners are randomly turning on, you have a much bigger problem than just putting things on a stove. As you can see, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take this and we're going to powderize it. I have a herb blender that I'm going to do that with, and I'll show you what it should look like after I do it. So after you get done doing that, it's going to be like in the consistency of peanut butter. And that's kind of what you actually want. Because all this is to try to get flavor into your... So once you do that, you're going to put in some of the RC. So once you get that, it's going to kind of look like this. And that's good. And what you can do is you're going to put on low to about medium heat. On my stove, that's going to be about 3. My stove gets insanely hot because the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, goes up to 9 dials. That's actually by hundreds of degrees. Why they did that, I don't know, but that's what those dials mean. So I'm going to put it on roughly about 200 degrees to get it to reduce down a little bit. Little intermittent break. I'm waiting for it to roast down in the kitchen. I am, as I said, I'm not a chef. And you're not really supposed to leave like the stove alone while you're cooking, but figure if something happens, it's gonna be bad. So yeah. Like he was like, well, what happens if that happens? I was like, you do the normal thing. You get out of your house, you call 911, and you wait later. So I'm drinking right now some ginger ale. And I'm just going to be waiting for like 3 or 4 minutes before I go back in there and do something. So I'm just going to enjoy this slowly. So this is what you want to see. Okay, let me show you. See that? That means that the peanut powder has permeated all the way through it. It's not just on the surface. It's kind of just gone all the way through. I don't know. Is that better? But yeah, that's what you want to see before you dump this in here. Reminder, I just made this thing up. I don't know how it's going to taste. The bacon is there because for a completely different reason. I just put a highly acidic thing into this. So, sorry. Continue. I just burped on camera. I feel embarrassed. But no. So I just put a highly acidic thing in here. And so I want to, preferably after eating the salmon, to almost immediately season this pan. Bacon grease is how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to have a little bit of breakfast also. It's okay. I get to make up the rules. I live alone. Once you get the salmon inside the pan, leave it the heck alone. You just want to flip it once. It takes about 10 minutes to cook it. if you do it my way. So, as you can see, it's in the pan. I put it onto 4, which is medium high. I had it on medium low for the to extract the peanut butter out of it, like the peanut, like I powderized the peanuts. I wanted to do that first, and then you put it on medium high to cook it. So we're gonna come back when it's halfway cooked. See, since taste is subjective, I'm not gonna tell you if you how it's gonna taste because I don't know. Maybe you love it. Maybe you make this and you love it. Maybe you make this and you hate this. I'm not going to tell you how I think it tastes because I've never made it before. As I said, it's something I made up right on the spot. This is actually taking longer than I guesstimated at it. So I turned up the heat. Don't know what that's going to do. Um, as I said, I'm not a chef, and I honestly don't know what this is going to taste like. I'll let you know in my next video what I think it tasted like, as a promise. Also, I put some parsley on top of the salmon. I don't know how that's gonna make it taste. Oh, this isn't salmon. This is sockeye. I just noticed that. I kind of don't know how I feel about that now. Okay, full disclosure. The tag has covered what it was. I thought it was salmon, but it's actually a Hawkeye. That's going to change how I think this is going to taste, honestly. But it is starting to boil, which is okay. You kind of want it to boil up on the sides to actually kind of like cook it that way. That will change. It's going to change the flavor, kind of. But I think it's going to be good. I think I'm going to like it. By this thing's very nature, it's going to cook unevenly. I'm going to find something. Be right back. Helps that I'm somewhat ambidextrous. I mean, I'm not the best with my left hand. I'm not like, God, I could survive. So, I don't know if you can see this, but it is cooking way better down here than it is up here. Yeah. So, yes, I'm using plastic. Yes, I know plastic can melt. Am I worried about that at this temperature? No, I'm not. So, what you're gonna do, and I think could be called poor kitchen, honestly. I don't actually have everything that I could have to do this right. And honestly, living alone has made me have some very bad habits when it came to cooking. So, I will finish cooking this and I'll tell you when I'm done. Now it's the moment of truth. How does this taste? Good. That thing's delicious. So to recap, for this recipe, you need pulverized peanuts, not peanut butter, but like take like a herb chopper and put some peanuts in it and have at it. RC or some type of acidic cola, iron skillet, some type of fish, red meat type fish, so salmon, sockeye, Hawkeye, something like that. Maybe even sailfish if you're fancy. Um, and this took me about 30 minutes to make, not gonna lie. Put the pulverized peanuts into a dish, into the skillet. Put some RC into the skillet. Um, Cook them until they get to a nice even reduced texture. Put your fish into the skillet. Put your fish skin side first into the skillet. Boil it just a little bit. Cook it halfway. It's going to cook kind of unevenly. You'll flip it once. Um, and that's my recipe. It does produce a unique texture, flavor. This is the first time I've ever had anything like this. I kind of like it like this. So, if anyone ever tells you they have a secret, it usually means that one day they got an idea just to try something, and then when they tried it, they found out it was good. I think I'm going to keep this recipe in my head forever. This will be my secret recipe. And when people goes, how did you get it to taste like this? Oh, it's my personal recipe, but I have it on YouTube.